President Granger observes 178th anniversary of Queenstown Village, and Guyana to champion the environment at International Aviation Conference. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Tuesday, September 24. We have lots to tell you. His Excellency President David Granger met with his cabinet ministers today, and among the topics on the agenda for discussion is the announcement of a date for the upcoming general and regional elections. Monday was a busy day for the head of state. In the morning, he commemorated the 178th anniversary of Queenstown Village on the Essequibo coast. In his feature address, President Granger noted that villages are the cradle of this nation and that their economies are essential to the survival of the country as a whole.
All of us came from villages. Some migrated and went to town, but the villages gave birth to this nation, whether they are African, Indian, or Amerindian villages.
The president gave kudos to Queenstown, which is considered to be the oldest village on the Essequibo coast. He described it as the vanguard of the Great Village movement, which he said began in the first decade after emancipation. In the meantime, His Excellency made it clear that education was also essential to development, stating that it was one of the pillars upon which the village of Queenstown was established.
One of the factors that has pushed Queenstown ahead, that has sustained Queenstown, is one of those pillars that I mentioned, which were established by our forefathers since 1841. The school. It was education that helped to produce the outstanding sons and daughters of this community, the civil servants, the economists, the engineers, the soldiers and teachers. Education is essential to development. In this competitive era, you cannot develop technologically without education.
In keeping with its aim to ensure education for every child, President Granger said his government will expand the provision of buses, boats and bicycles to reduce the financial burden on parents, as well as expand the school feeding program to encourage school attendance and improve performance. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Later in the evening, at the 70th anniversary celebrations for the founding of the People's Republic of China, President Granger applauded that nation for its social and economic progress over the last 7 decades.
The Cooperative Republic of Guyana extends congratulations to His Excellency President Xi Jinping and to the government and people of the People's Republic of China on the occasion of the auspicious celebration of the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China on the 1st of October, 1949.
The head of state, accompanied by the Honorable Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu and wife, Mrs. Sita Nagamutu, and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams, who performed the duties of Minister of Foreign Affairs, celebrated with the People's Republic of China on Monday evening at what was deemed as the National Day of the People's Republic of China. In China, the day is a public holiday to celebrate the anniversary of the founding of the country. Celebration goes for an entire week and is dubbed Golden Week.
Guyana applauds China for its social and economic progress over the past 7 decades. China has achieved much to ensure consistent and positive development in transforming infrastructure and improving technology.
With Guyana and China establishing diplomatic relations 47 years ago on June 27, 1972, President Granger acknowledged that these relations continue to be strengthened through cooperation in economic and cultural fields and have resulted in the conclusion of agreements and exchanges, particularly in infrastructural development and training.
Guyana is grateful to China for its contribution to infrastructure development of our country through the construction and rehabilitation of this very building, the Arthur Chung Conference Center, the upgrading of the Chedi Jagan International Airport, the construction of a 4-lane highway on the east coast of Demerara, and the Sheriff Street Mandela Avenue Road enhancement project. China has been a reliable partner in the development of Guyana's human resources. This is evident in the recent awarding of scholarships to 11 Guyana Defense Force officers to pursue advanced studies in China, mainly in scientific, technological, and engineering fields.
Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
6 working papers on the environment and helicopter operations in Guyana will be submitted at the International Civil Aviation Organization's conference in Montreal, Canada.
According to the Director General within the Civil Aviation Authority, retired Colonel Egbert Field, most of the working papers that countries sign on to are solutions to issues within the aviation sector. For Guyana, the majority of the 6 working papers will target a greener environment through the reduction of greenhouse emissions.
The environment is now a big thing, not only for Guyana, but in aviation. And we're looking at how to cap the emissions. We're looking at how we can balance whatever is capped. If we cannot cap it, what alternative could be used?
With respect to the increasing traffic of helicopters in Guyana as the oil and gas sector continues to grow, the Civil Aviation Authority head will also lobby for technical expertise to aid the authority in its regulatory responsibilities.
More looking towards getting the support for, or getting the assistance of experienced inspectors maybe from other states to come to Guyana to assist us, or maybe to come to Guyana to train some of my inspectors who are not experienced in that area.
The ICAO conference will take place on September 24th and will last until August 4th. Shaquille Bourne, for InfoHub.
The issues of addressing environmental challenges must be balanced with sustainable mining practices across the sector. So says Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman.
It's always something that we need to pay constant watch on, and we know we're doing our jobs when we get complaints both from the conservationists and from the miners in the same week, because our job is to manage the pace of development, and we do so, of course, by ensuring that there are roads into the different mining and forest areas or concessions. We ensure, of course, working in tandem with the EPA, GGMC, that turbidity of water is kept to a minimum, that's the disturbance, that the use of mercury is not widespread and rampant and therefore destructive. We try to ensure that communities are consulted.
Minister Trotman was at the time appearing as a guest on VOG's Insight radio program. He referenced incidents at Chinese landing and within the boundaries of the Kaieteur National Park and the steps taken 2 years ago to halt illegal operations.
Sometimes you're caught between, you're in a dilemma, because on the one hand you're told that mining is illegal, and on the other hand you're told that you're interfering with people's livelihoods. But it just highlights the tension between managing people, managing resource development, and the pace of that development.
According to the minister, the aim is to ensure that the extractive industry operates within the context of the Green State Development Strategy as it oversees the industries countrywide. He cited the example of the Kingdom of Norway as one to follow. Still to come, project launched to help persons improve nutritional intake and more adolescent mothers reintegrated into the education system. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has welcomed notice by the International Court of Justice that the oral hearing on jurisdiction on its case against Venezuela will be held in The Hague from March 23 to 27 in 2020. This hearing will determine whether the court has jurisdiction over the case filed by Guyana on March 29 of 2018. Guyana is seeking to obtain a final and binding judgment that the 1899 arbitral award, which established the location of the land boundary between the then British Guyana and Venezuela, remains valid and binding, and that Essequibo, the region, remains part of Guyana. The release further stated that government welcomes the prospect of a final and binding decision by the court that will definitely resolve this long-standing controversy and allow Guyana and Venezuela to proceed to develop excellent and close relations as neighboring states. The Ministry of Agriculture has launched the Grain H project. The initiative, which is being done through a collaborative effort with the Demerara Regional Democratic Council's Mahaika Health Service Program, is in keeping with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 3. This seeks to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all.
The unveil was held at the Herdmanston Lodge in Queenstown, where Minister within the Ministry of Agriculture Valerie Adams-Yearwood delivered the keynote address.
Guyana realigning agriculture for improved nutrition and health, or Grain H to paraphrase that concept, is a welcome convergence of ideas to address the objectives of the agriculture and public health sectors.
The overall goal is to help patients recognize that food can act as their medicine, since a healthy diet goes hand in hand with a healthy lifestyle, merging the two sectors.
It was a demonstration of the sound and cogent direction that your government has set out for the development of this country, that has seen these sectors recognizing where collaboration might allow for the achievement of unique successes for the benefit of our citizens.
Participants in the project will be drawn from the geriatrics, antenatal, and NCD clinics. They will be taught to view food as their medicine, both in terms of its nutritional content, as well as how it is prepared and consumed to ensure that it is healthy. Country representative of the FAO, Ms. Gillian Smith, explained the importance of this.
By helping people to utilize more healthy foods, more locally produced fresh foods, we are helping ourselves and we are helping the nation to ensure that we maintain a productive and healthy population.
Smith gave her endorsement of the program, outlining its potential impact.
This is a kind of initiative that can help persons to think more purposefully and make radical and drastic changes in their consumption patterns, in the consumption patterns of our families, in the consumption patterns of our communities, and in the consumption patterns of our nation.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
Another batch of adolescent mothers is being given the opportunity to return to school in a momentous move by the Education Ministry. It follows the reintegration of several mothers in 2018 and earlier in 2019 at the Carnegie School of Home Economics and mainstream schools.
This batch of 75 young women brings the reintegration tally up to 225 adolescent mothers who are now equipped with skills and academic qualifications as a result of the policy championed by Minister of Education, Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry. The young mothers will be taking courses in fabric decoration, elementary cookery, and cake decoration. The reintegration is facilitated primarily by the Health and Family Life Education Unit within the Ministry of Education. Delivering remarks on behalf of the Education Minister, Colleen King Cameron, who serves as the coordinator of the Health and Family Life Education Unit, remarked that the program will create a better future for the adolescent mothers and their children.
You have been given the opportunity to reintegrate into the school system, to further develop yourself through technical and vocational education.
The initiative is seen as paramount to the development of women and girls in Guyana and seeks to provide the opportunity for young women to reach their full potential.
The ministry continues to unfold its plans for you young mothers who would have been unable to complete your education.
Earlier in September, Skeldon in Region 6 benefited from its first reintegration program, where 40 adolescent mothers were given the opportunity to return to school for the first time. Natisha Isaacs for Info Hub.
Here's a reminder to check our Facebook and Instagram pages as we bring you more stories covering the observances of Indigenous Heritage Month and Education Month. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.